was Manuel ended, and I had become addicted too with heroin at that time. Not heavy, but a bit addicted. So I went to Paris to cool off, and and then I got a phone call from Manuel that he was playing a concert in London, and he wanted me to join him. And he also asked Harald Großkopf, who had played with Klaus Schulze on the Moondawn record.
Yeah.
And they knew each other from the Cosmic Courier times with all these bands, and they had made a record together, starring Rosie, where Harald Großkopf was the drummer. So Harald was living in Ibiza for a vacation, and with three of us, we met in London for 3 days for the first time with the drummer to rehearse for a gig. And that was the official gig for the Blackouts record, which Manuel had done by himself. And that was the first gig with the three of us. And so then we started to play as a trio called Ashra. And the first record we did was called Correlations. And after that, we did this Belle Alliance.
Yeah, that's a beautiful album too, man. And then you guys, then later on you did a Agitation free sort of comeback, right?
Yeah, that was only to finish the band. I was coming back from my life with France, and they had done some more concerts with some other musicians, and we wanted to end Agitation free.
Yeah.
But that was already in '74, I think. It was the end of '74, I think. And so I organized the last concert, which was called Last Reunion, and with all the members, and even Christoph Franke was playing on it. And Mani Neumeier, a very good drummer from Guru Guru, he joined us, and all the musicians who could take. Who at time were playing at this last concert, and I'm happy that Klaus D. Müller, he was at the time he was a road manager of Ashra and later became the manager of Klaus Schulze. He recorded this concert, which was meant as a last concert for Agitation Free, which it was. And later on, we published this record called Fragments, with this live.
Is that's the one called Shibuya Nights or no?
Oh, that you were talking about. That was much later. That was in the 2000, 2008 or 2007, when we were invited by this big, huge fan of all of our bands, Gen Fuchita. He's a Japanese businessman who is very, very rich and who owns a wax museum with all he's a big fan of krautrock rock music, and there's Klaus Schulze standing there, Manuel Götzsching, but now last year I think the museum doesn't exist anymore, but at the time it was still running, and he invited all these bands. And so also when Michael Hönig, our keyboard player, was introduced as a wax figure next to Don Preston, by the way, a good friend of his, we were invited to do the tour, and we played 3 gigs in Tokyo, and that was recorded, and then we did it as this Shibuya Nights record.
By the way, also, Klaus, you mentioned Michael Honig, you mentioned Klaus Schulze. Those are very, very important people too, man. I mean, in music, But Klaus Schulze is difficult to get a hold of.
I think he's very, very sick. The last time I had we had the same record company, and I was based in Hanover, and he lives nearby, and I was in the office like maybe 3-4 years ago, and I've heard that he's not doing well because he was supposed to play a concert and in Poland, I think, and it got cancelled. So by accident, he was calling when I was there, That's when I spoke to him last time. But he was like always, oh, everything's fine, no, don't worry, and that's the way he is always. But I've heard he's really doing not so good anymore. So I don't know. That's I think he's very hidden at home and doesn't talk to many people anymore. But he has a wife caring for him, so I think he's in good hands. But I don't think you will see him perform anymore. I must say.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he is very, very good player. What can you tell about the 17 hippies?
That is a very, very fun project, and it was formed in '95. Completely different music. It was formed from a trio because there was this guy. Christoph Franke, sorry. He has an English mother and a German father, and he was in Ireland. He lives in Berlin, and he was in Ireland, and you know the music scene in Ireland, the pubs, you know, they're full of musicians, and they play this traditional Irish music. So he was in this pub, and there was this band playing in a corner. And after an hour, this violin player went to the bar, gave the violin to the neighbor, and the violin and the neighbor kept playing, the same stuff. Yeah. And that was, the violin. So this traditional music, acoustic music, folk music. So he himself, he's a bass player normally, and he's into rock music. But he was so impressed by this traditional music, and that people played without amplifiers, just, you get an instrument, tune it, and start playing. So he came back to Berlin, and he founded the band, and the trio, and the lineup was, he played ukulele, and there was a double bass player, like double bass, acoustic, and a bagpipe, like bagpipe. Yep. That was a trio. I mean, a very curious constellation of instruments, and they called themselves 17 Hippies. And the idea was to play just for fun, acoustic music, not carrying heavy amplifiers anymore, instead of just having fun, and also maybe to learn a new instrument, because the bagpipe player was normally a drummer. The ukulele player was a bass player. So and he had this idea of developing this kind of music, and together with amateur players who learn music, not professional, just for fun, not about earning money, only fun. And this idea was so big that in about weeks. We got so many musicians, and I was invited. I remember that a bit later, and we were maybe 7 people then, and we were. And then the bagpipe player said, "Well, the rehearsal room in a cellar in the Tempelhof airport, which is an old Nazi building, where we had all these rehearsal rooms in the cellar." And a very legendary place, but it was too small for all of us, and so this bagpipe player said, "Well, he knows a boat in Kreuzberg, which is a cool district here in Berlin, where there's a boat with a gastronomy, with a bar, and we could go there to rehearse in public, and we have drinks and all that." So we went there, and we did, like rehearsing, and we had a lot of guests, and so this guy exploded, and we got an invitation for the South by Southwest festival in Texas in 98. So we got there with like 35 friends, and at that time, 17 Hippies, we were like 26 musicians. Wow. So we went there. No one earned some money. It was just for fun. We stayed there for 2 weeks, and it was a fantastic times. And so we kept playing it now for 25 years and going around the world. But the idea was only, having fun.
Gotcha. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, unbelievable, man. And then you put together your Lüül and then Lüül and I, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How you pronounce it, Lüül in German?
Lüül, it's quite well. I know it's unusual because it's a U with the 2 points, and it's Lüül. Yeah, that's a nickname my sister gave me when I was a teenager, and it's my nickname and my artist name as a singer-songwriter and also banjo player. I played banjo in this 17 Hippies band, and I like this name. And Lüül, this is my project where I play, because what I did all the time, coming from the Tigers, as I told you earlier, where I already had written a song in English, and I was always into songwriting. Apart from all this music, but I was too shy. It took really years and years to record my first singer-song album. But I always did this, parallel to the krautrock music or 17 Hippies music. And that's what I do mostly now, except for now we have the pandemic and we can't play anymore. But this is all my money mostly.
I got you. And then one of the listeners to the radio asked me to ask you this question. Was Nico the love of your life?
I must admit.
You're married, so it doesn't matter.
I must admit, though I'm married now to my beautiful lady Daniela, and of course she is the most important person in my life, since we are married since 2008, and we know each other, or we love each other since 2003. So this is now my of course my love of life. But it's true that at the time, of course, to meet Nico and to get to know her and to be in love with her was a very important station or period in my life, which still continues, because I'm taking care of her grave here in Berlin. She's buried here. I organized the funeral, or this back in '88, and I'm in contact via Facebook also with a lot of international Nico fans. And also my most popular song, which I wrote for her, is called Reich der Träume, Reign of Dreams, which is on YouTube. And this is, of course, the most popular song I've ever written, because Nico is such a great singer.
No, I know that song is very popular, and I think you can kind of translate it to English as like carry away with dreams or real dreams.
Right.
Because you living with her, going to place, and she was a little crazy too. It was like living in a dream. It wasn't real life. You have like a dream life for 10 years, right?
Really. It was really, especially with Nico. Of course, she was a heroin addict, but her personality was so strong, and she was so unique. And I couldn't believe that I'm living with this lady, And we went to the Chelsea Hotel in New York, and I got to know all these great musicians, Andy Warhol and John Cale, and that was of course fantastic. And we toured in San Francisco. We played at the Whiskey A Go-Go. That's a legendary place. I met Tom Petty in the audience. And it was really, it was a dream come true. Though of course it was very exhausting. To live with Nico it was really exhausting, and it was breaking, wrecking, and it wasn't always easy, you know. And we also had a fight in the Chelsea hotel because she could be very aggressive too, you know. She wasn't only this beautiful lady, and you know she could be very furious. So it wasn't easy, but of course to live with her was like living in a movie. It was really dramatic and full of crazy experiences and all this shit. Really.
Like now I understand what you say before. You needed to make a decision between Manuel Goshin or Nico, and then go to Spain to play with Nico now, right?
And as she was addicted, it was, and I self got addicted too. I'm happy that I got out of it, without dying, And I mean, Nico, despite she was taking so many drugs all these years, I think 14 years, she was very strong. She was very strong physically also, and she could take it. I myself, if I had taken heroin much longer, I think I would have died. And of course, that was the other side of this relationship, which could be also very destroying.
Yeah, of course. It's not good. It's not good. But people, overdose, and how many musicians have died? Very good people. I always have a question. Always have wanted to know why there so many. Why is Berlin, the mecca of electronic music? Why there were too many electronic musicians coming out of Berlin at the time?
Yeah, I think that has to do with the Beatstudio, the electronic Beatstudio, where this teacher we had, Thomas Kessler, I mentioned earlier. Yeah. He was an avant-garde composer, and he introduced us to all these like Terry Riley or other musicians who did this kind of minimal or experimental music, and so that was a big influence, I think. But it wasn't only in Berlin. I have the theory but I think the theory is wrong. But I always say like we were on an island surrounded by the Berlin Wall, so we had to escape from it with with our music, to fly away from this prison we were in. I mean, we didn't feel like being in prison because it was still a big city in Berlin, but I think this is one theory. But then we had other bands living in Munich, Popol Vuh or Can in Cologne, which did the same kind of music, and they were living in other parts. So this speaks against my theory. So. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe all these influences with these avant-garde composers were a part of it.
Yeah. My good friend, he really loves the Popol Vuh music. And did you ever play with Popol Vuh at all, or a little bit?
No, actually, I didn't. I never saw them live. Never heard them, and I don't know their music so well. We met Harmonia, which became Cluster, because we were playing at the Olympic Games. I mean, nowadays you couldn't believe that's possible, that during Olympic Games, musicians like Terry Riley was playing. Peter Michael Hammer, I think he made a contact because he was living in Munich, that Agitation 3 was invited, and Harmonia or Cluster, I think they were called then, were invited too. So we met Rodelius and Möbius and great guys, but Popol Vuh I never met. Module we met a couple of times.
Yeah, we interview. I interviewed a Module about 2 months ago. The main.
Maybe put some lights on. Is it maybe? Am I turned down?
Go ahead, put some light if you want. Okay. Because I need to put the recharger. I'm coming right back. Do.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me put the recharger here. All right. Yeah, I need to recharge the computer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that much better. Yeah. I'm all due. We did have a very good interview, and there was one person I forgot the name now, from Popol Vuh, that had played with. Now it's part of the Moldul too.
Oh yeah.
So I wanna definitely. He's one of the few survivors that are alive. So I definitely want to get a hold of this person, because Popol Vuh music is very, very good, very different, right? But it's very, very good.
There's a lot of music for the Werner Herzog movies.
Of course, Werner Herzog, of course, yeah, all the movie. Fitzgerald and all the other ones.
Yeah.
Are you still in touch with Michael Honing at all?
Yes, I will call him today or maybe tomorrow, and I think you can interview him as well if you want.
Yeah. If you can set me up, I sent him an email a couple of days ago. Yeah, if you can talk to him, I would love to. And the other. Go ahead. So the other email that I got is from Thomas and Mario. I listened to the work that you sent me with Thomas Fanger and Mario Jollinger, and I like it very much. It's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is another project I do, and we will do. I wrote you in an email that we will do another album. I think comes out in some weeks, because we meet. I don't know. Every 3 years or something, we meet and we do some sessions. And I don't know if you are familiar with the recording we did in the VW bus. Do you know this, Frankfurter Allee?
No, I don't know.
Check it on live on YouTube. It's Mario Schönwelder featuring Lutz Ulbrich, and I think when you put it on YouTube, you were, because it's I think the most popular we did, and we were driving. The idea was like having only a minimal equipment, just an electric guitar, maybe an iPhone or something, and we were driving Berlin, the Frankfurter Allee, which is a very beautiful avenue here, and playing like 23 minutes or something, just improvising, and it was like this. It was beautiful, and the video you saw, you mentioned that where we were playing live, that was last year, where on the screen you see the original video where we recorded the music, and we tried to play the same music last year on our first concert together, and I wanted this to have on the screen behind us.
Yeah, and plus Thomas and Mario, they're very, very good musicians by yourself. They're very good people. I have seen and heard some interview. They're very good people. So I definitely will be talking to them. You also participated with, one of the, a lot of people in Tangerine Dream have died already, but with Thorsten in a series what he called Behind Closed Door with Thorsten. Yeah, that's very, very good too, man.
Yeah, I was really happy because I don't know him. I only met him, Thorsten, some years ago when there was a film premiere of Edgar Froese movie. I don't know if you're familiar with this. No. There's this beautiful Edgar Froese movie, and it was shown, I think, 2-3 years ago at the Berliner Film Festival. And we had a party afterwards, and the ex-wife of the widow of Edgar Froese was there, Bianca, and Thorsten questioning was there. And I was, because Edgar Froese from Tangerine Dream, he was living in Austria last years, so I thought, and he was playing with Austrian musicians, and I thought Thorsten is an Austrian musician, but he's based in Berlin. He's a Berlin musician. And when he had this idea last year, like in May or June, as everything was locked down, and he had the idea to invite musicians and to make them play. He asked me via Facebook, and he just because we had met only once and didn't talk to each other, but he wrote me on Facebook, do you want to join me and play some music as well? And I was really in a kind of a lockdown mood, you know. I had just written the song, the words stand still here, as I told you, and I wasn't too keen to go out and to play, and I do not play this kind of music that often. So this electric guitar, normally I play more acoustic music and songs. I play this krautrock or experimental electronic music also once in a while, but not all the time. So, and you have to get into it, you know. It's to play like half an hour solo guitar. If you're not used to it, it's kind of a risk, you know. Really, even for me, you know. So I was thinking, and then my wife, she there's this movie where there's Tangerine Dream music in it, Bandersnatch, you know, and she loves this music, and you got an invitation of a Tangerine Dream musician, you have to do it. So okay, I said, okay, I rehearsed a bit here, and then I took my guitar and went there to the concert hall he had rented, and the only thing we did, we said hello, install the guitar, what are we doing? Oh, okay, we play like, I don't know how long, maybe half an hour, whatever, and it's A minor. Okay, go. And that was all we did, you know. And I really loved this idea because there was no security, no. I mean, of course, we could have stopped, of course, you know, because it wasn't live. We recorded it live, but it wasn't transmitted live. It was made like 10 days later or so. But we kept it as and most of the sessions were kept like the original, you know. So and that was great, and we got along musically very good, and the sound was good, and so yeah, I'm really proud of it.
I watched it a couple of days ago, and I interviewed Thorsten also. He's a very good person too, and he's very good music. I mean, I'm a fan of Tangerine Dream, obviously, but
yeah,
man, you guys are musicians. How can you adapt to all? You know, you have played with so many people with so many different styles. You know, you are very good. You know, it's very difficult to adapt. You know, going for the stuff you do with Mario and Thomas. The stuff you do, have done with musician and with 17 hippies and acoustic guitar, more electric guitar, you know, this.
Yeah, I always liked, you know, to change the styles, or to look, you know, not to only do one thing, but you know, to be open to other styles of music, and that's what I like. And but to do improvisations, that is quite an how do you call it? Quite an effort to do, and not you have to be really open, and to not to be afraid of mistakes, you know, because you don't know what you're gonna play next minutes or so. But I like this because nowadays in our music world, all the concerts, even with the 17 Hippies, which began as a very chaotic, chaotic band where mistakes were celebrated, you know, when the school was you know, fuck it and go on. So I know one will kill me when I do a mistake, even if the people paid money for concerts. But still, it's for a lot of musicians is a very big risk, and they don't take risks anymore. They want to give their audience both what they do in the studio, right. Yeah, and not take any risk. And that's what I like with Thorsten, that he has this idea behind closed doors, and he knows what he's doing, and I really adore him for that, because he has this huge equipment, and but it's working, and he has his, there's almost no mistakes he does. He's really very intelligent and very, he's good at it, and all the other musicians. So, wait a second, it's ringing here.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm glad I got invited, and what the other thing is what is good, because he also is a businessman, and I think this is also important, because we are all musicians who depend on earning money with our music. So when you squeeze this music on YouTube, and I think he has a good way to do it. You see it on YouTube live, not really live, but like still a live recording, and after that it changes on other platforms, like Vimeo and what is the other one? I forgot. Where you
no, Vimeo
Bandcamp, or is it Bandcamp or whatever?
Bandcamp, yeah.
Where you can buy it,
Yeah, of course.
So if the people are really interested in this kind of music, they can, they can buy it, and they give us money, and it's not like for free, because we all the music nowadays, as you know, on Spotify, it's the worst of our music is it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And so I think this is a good idea to do it that way.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, absolutely, man. You guys don't get paid at all with Spotify. Bandcamp is much better, because Bandcamp take only like 10%. So when you upload a record, they only take 10%, and they send you a check for the 90, which is very good. In Spotify, you get 0.00006.
Yeah.
So you need like a million hits to get 500.
Yeah. You don't want it anything.
Make money, right? What kind of music do you listen now at home? What kind of stuff you like?
Well, to at home, I don't listen to any music, really.
Really?
I'm this musician I'm this kind of musician who doesn't listen to other music. Because music is everywhere. You go in a restaurant, or if you can, now you can, but normally in the airport, everywhere you get surrounded by music. So I love to be silent and to just enjoy not having music. So really, I don't listen to any music. Of course, sometimes there are some documentaries I look, like what I recently looked was, but it's like old stuff from the 60s, but I really like this. It's about the musicians in Hollywood, in Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills. There's a documentary with all these great musicians, Jackson Browne and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and this. I recently saw that, or I saw about the Stones. All this old stuff, more. I'm getting a bit more old-fashioned, I must say, concerning my taste of music. Yeah.
Well, so it's, man, you have played with so many musicians, from Christoph Franke, from Thomas Kessler, Peter Michael Hamel, Michael Honig, Klaus Schulze, with Harold Crosskopf. Is anybody that you have not played that you wished you have the opportunity to play? Because you have played with everybody, man. Is anyone looking back in your life? Is any particular man? I wish I have done a gig with this guy or with that guy or with that guy.
I would have loved to play with the Byrds or with the with Allman Brothers also, because I had a very, very fun night last year there's this krautrock festival, or hippie festival, I should say, here in Germany. And we played there last year with 17 hippies, and Graham Nash was playing there also. Was the headliner. And after our concert, there was a band playing, and I really loved that idea. That was the Allman Betts Band. And the Allman Betts Band, these are the sons of the Allman Brothers Band. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Allman Brothers Band, but it's a very interesting band. And there were also concerted guitar playing, my heroes, and these guys. And I was staying on a next to the stage. I was like, they were playing. I was only like 2 or 3 meters away, and they keep playing this original music from their fathers. And I had so much fun listening to them. And then we met at the bar at the hotel, and we were talking to each other. And I really loved this contact. And this was I would love to have played with them. And also last year I saw a concert with Michael Rother. Michael Rother, yeah. I've never heard him play. He was playing with Eno and with Cluster, and I've never seen him play. And when he was starting his music, it's a bit like Ashra music. You have the sequencers, and he's playing this guitar. And I was so like, hey, I want to go on stage. I want to join him. And he has a fellow musician called Franz Barkmann. And Franz Barkmann, he was also invited by Thorsten Questioning to join one of his sessions. And now I'm playing with this guy, and he could be my son. He's like 13 years old or something. So we meet and we jam this kind of music. So it goes on and on.
Yeah, in terms of guitarists in general that you admire, people like Jeff Beck and Brian May and Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page. Have you met them or played at all with them?
But it was really funny during the first lockdown now when I was doing my workout here. I have some 2 machines here where I listen to some rock music, and I'm not a big Queen fan, but there was this Bohemian Rhapsody coming. And I mean, this is a masterpiece, and there's a really great guitar solo, So and I listened to it. I said, "Wow, that's really good solo." And next day, when I was doing my workout again, I had YouTube on, and Brian May was there, sitting in his home and talking, to the audience, to his fans, and said, "Well, I know a lot of fans of yours like me to show you the solo of Bohemian Rhapsody, how I played." And so it was fantastic to see him, a very nice guy, and very nice. And he shows that, no attitude, I'm a big star, not at all. And so, that was really nice. No, but I haven't met all these musicians. I wouldn't compare myself with. I see myself more as a limited musician and a limited guitar player. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
No, it's not true. You cannot be limited with all the people that you are very humble. With all the people that you mentioned, it's not limited.
Thank you. So, but that's the way I see it. And but you're right. I mean, I'm really happy with the musicians I could play and still do, and I'm also very happy that I decided with the Beatles, coming to my life, to become a musician, because the life as a musician, and I'm happy that I can afford to live. I'm not rich, but I can live with my music. I don't know about the future because now everything's changing, but I don't really care. As artists, we are always flexible with money and all this, and I'm really happy that I decided to become a musician. but I am telling maybe for the listeners also, because in the 70s, to become a musician and to when you are young and you decide now you want to live with making music. Of course, it's not so easy, especially if you do this kind of music, which is not top 40 music. So how do you do it? How do you survive? So a lot of people, a lot of musicians, mostly everyone in Berlin, they had a taxi driver license.
Oh, I see.
Mario Götzing, he was a cab driver. I was a cab driver, and I still own my Philip Glass. The great composer, Philip Glass, Terry Riley music. He was a cab driver in New York, and so we all had this. I have this profession. I still have the permission to do the job. Because you have to, every 5 years you have to renew it, and I still do it because and it was a very easy job. You could earn a lot of money, like working 2 days a week only, and the rest of the time you could play music. This decision to become to have a proper job, even if it's a low-level job, taxi driver, I always loved the job, but I didn't drive for like 20 years or longer. So I wouldn't do this decision anymore. When I'm a young guy and I want to become a musician, I would say, fuck it. Even if I have to starve, I want to be a musician. And there's my talent. There's all the energy I have, I put into this profession.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. If that was your dream and you wanted to do, your dad bought you the guitar, and the rest is history. What you gotta do one day? Get into a taxi, do like a Uber or one of the kind of stuff, and put your name tag, but don't tell anybody that you're famous. And you on the radio when you're picking up driving, you put electronic music or your stuff in the background to see if people recognize.
Yeah, I mean,
do like a video and do like a video series. That would be a good idea. I'm quite sure you can get a lot of followers in YouTube if you do that. You put good music in the background and you don't tell the people that.
Actually, it was really. There's this very funny story about Philip Glass. Yeah. When he was driving a cab, and there was this lady, the lady in his car, and in America, we don't have this here. In Germany, you don't have your name. If you're a driver, you don't have your name there. But in New York, you have your name. Yeah. And of course, his name, Philip Glass, was there, and he was driving, and the lady saw his name, and she told him, there's a very famous composer with the same name as you, because she wasn't recognizing him that it was him.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful story, man.
And also when I was living with Nico, when I did we didn't have gigs. I had to drive taxi, to make a living, to buy the heroin, all this. And she liked to go with me. She was sitting next to me, Nico, and we were driving through the nights, because she loved Berlin in the night. And when we had some customers, clients, they were a bit surprised that there was somebody sitting, but they didn't care, and that was really funny too.
So where's Nico's grave? Is in Berlin as well? Yeah.
It's Berlin, and there's also, I think, on YouTube you can find for the fans. There's a description, because it's not so easy to find. It's in the Grunewald, which is a forest here. It's really in the middle of the forest, and you can't go there by car. You have to walk through the forest for a while, and I was there with John Cale and with some other musicians, and it's a very, very beautiful cemetery in the middle of the forest.
That's right. Beautiful, man. So what are your plans for the near future? Are you doing any recording at home? You plan to do any gigs as soon as you can, as soon as you're able to
Yeah,
play?
well, I'm working on songs. Actually, did I tell you? Yeah, I think I told you in the beginning that I'm just working on a song, "Free Speech,"
Yeah.
which I will produce maybe next week. Um, I don't have many plans. I keep playing with this young musician Franz Bachmann, this kind of music, and we wanted to do concerts also with this Thomas Franke and Schönwelder, like concerts. But now no one knows. We are working on a studio album with Agitation Free for quite some years now. Every week we have a video conference, and the drummer is living in Bremen, which is North Germany. The new bass player, or not new, but our bass player, myself, we are living in Berlin. Michael Hönig is living in Ibiza, and we work, we collaborate. Everyone is home recording with Pro Tools, and then we met every week to have a chat on what we are changing. So this is what we do. And with 17 Hippies, I'm not sure if we will be there. Some concert maybe in summer, but with all the vaccination, I will refuse the vaccination and I won't do a test. So I'm not sure if I'm still in the band, if this is obligatory. So I'm not really sure. So and it might be, it might also be that it's not possible to play any concerts anymore, or it's getting so weird that no one is coming to concerts because people are really scared. They got so much information from the government, and this is really like a propaganda. So that they don't want to every man, every person is now like a virus. Like an enemy, So this is how we live now, and I'm quite relaxed. Even maybe I'm a risk person because I'm older, but I think we have to get together like being humans, and fucking it, So I'm not sure where it's going with the music business, and if I'm able to be on the road again. I wish I could. I will do a new recording. I'm not sure if it will come out in this year or the spring or maybe later. Because normally if you do an album, you go on tour. But if you can't go on tour, you ask yourself, should I do an album? But I'm thinking, and I have time, and the government is giving us money, so we don't have to work, and we get money so far, and I will see.
Yeah, so it will be, hopefully, the virus and the pandemic and all the stuff will go away, and all the musicians and everybody can be healthy and happy and do their thing. I would love to see you in Latin America or here in the United States or in Germany. I do plan, I was planning to go to Europe again this summer, but I don't know if I will be able to travel. I need to see I need to find more graves in Munich for my ancestor. But I want to go to Berlin. I've never been in Berlin. So when I'm Berlin, I will give you a call and we have dinner. We have supper.
Yeah, sure. If that's allowed, we do it.
So if it's allowed, I don't know.
Yeah, because now it's not allowed.
And then, hopefully I can get a hold of Klaus Schulze and Manuel. I need to keep on emailing people. You put me in touch with Honing, with Michael.
I will send you an email and tell him. Okay, good.
Thank you very much, Lutz, man. That was 90 an hour and a half. Thank you very much. I will send you a link when this interview is over, so you can put in your social media.
Yeah, great.
All the interviews are posted, and thank you again for you. Keep on working, man. Stay alive. Stay healthy.
Sure, I will.
You're doing well, man. You're a very humble and very good person, man. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your interest, and to all your fans of your radio station. Greetings to them, and I appreciate your love for our kind of music. Yeah?
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.